What is up, guys? Welcome back to Turbo's Garage. Now, what you're looking at here isn't something that we've had on the channel for a good while. I think the last time you guys seen the Turbo LS Jag has been like 6 months ago. So as it sits now, this is exactly how it was before. And today what we're gonna do is Jeremy's gonna see if the thing actually runs and drives correctly. So the fact is, if just going over the setup again, it's just a normal 5.3, should be a Gen 3 5.3, 76 mil Turbski on it. Full Turbo LS swap. It has a built 60E in it. And today what we're gonna see is, does the thing run and drive and act like it's supposed to do? So you just look at the setup, has the drag radials on the rear, looks nice. The whole setup of it is just, it's so sleeper. When they have the hood on there and the front bumper, you really cannot tell at all except the rear tires. I mean, but outside of that, everything looks pretty factory. Even the interior inside this car is just pretty much factory, just your good old British goodness here. So you see inside there, everything's just bone stock. So doesn't scream built at all, but gonna see how this thing runs and see what happens the first time it hitting the streets. It's so quiet. Vlog valve, dude. He sounds deep. Yep. Purse. Like a kitten. That thing is super quiet, dude.
It ain't gonna stay. It's like you probably might not come back with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could have done this yesterday and picked some track around.
Ooh. It looks legit. So quiet, Jesus. That's what you call a sleeper. Should be able to fit. Ooh. Dude, this thing is mint. It's British luxury, bro.
It's hot as fuck is what the fuck.
I know. Yeah.
No fucking brakes.
This shit's hard. Yeah, let's throw that back there. Damn. Temps.
Temp seems good.
Yeah, it doesn't want to downshift, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't want to go into the next gear.
Ooh.
Transmission is dumb.
Oh yeah, possibly. Yeah, it's probably missing a gear. That's exactly what a TA does. So it possibly is a trans.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Trans is done.
Is it a 60E?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, you have to change that anyway once you make any form of power. I say Turbo 400. So quiet. So at least we know this thing runs and drives pretty good. It's just the transmission is just gone bad. So all we got to do is replace that, go with a better clutches, or for example get a built unit. I probably advise going like a Turbo 400 or 80E. You just don't have to worry about it afterwards, because but other than that, this thing is pretty mint. I'm so drawn to this car. This car is just so mint in a way that it's just cool as shit. You don't got to be the fastest. One thing that somebody said, I forgot what it was, it still irks him to this day. Somebody called this like it's a poor man's Supra. But like in retrospect, if you think about it, back in the 90s, shit, when this thing came out, this thing was way more expensive than the Supra. So they've depreciated like crazy, but at the end of the day, it's not really the poor man's Supra. A poor man's Supra would be like a, I don't know, something that's below a Supra. This ain't really below a Supra. But shit, that's my opinion. Fuck, I don't give a shit. Damn, dude spun hard. Damn, that was damn good race. He's not in four-wheel drive. That's why it's too quick of a race. We didn't have time to put it in four-wheel drive because I thought this shit was gonna rain. But damn, that was, Tahoe moves up. He put the new clutch in the 300ZX. So the 300ZX can hold those gears way better. And it made a difference, man. That 300ZX moves out. Shit, just for a little 5.3, little bone stock LSA cam. Shit, man, that thing flies. Hell yeah, and 300ZX is still a heavy vehicle too. That's a good ass race. Well, somebody finally beat the Tahoe. So I think this is gonna be the push for Nigel to freaking do the next level with the Tahoe, whatever that is. I don't know, maybe LS, maybe 383 stroker, up the boost, whatever's gonna happen is gonna be pretty hilarious. But yeah, so somebody finally took down the Tahoe. One thing to note is now Nigel's going to be working in the oil field now, so he's going to be away like 2 weeks at a time. So this pretty much, a lot of times you might not going to see the Tahoe as often, so it's probably going to just be us around the shop, me and Mike, building cars, doing things like that, videoing all the little cool builds that come through the shop. So it's not going to slow down in content, it's just you won't have as much Tahoe shit going on. That's why I want to get my Turbo LS 240 on the road, so we can kind of pick up for that. But once he comes back, I mean, we're going to be hitting the videos hard as well. Now, this is kind of like perfect timing in a sense. Nigel acquired an LS motor finally, so he's trying to get in the LS game. I mean, I have the WF6, I have the Turbo LS 240. I kind of already know LS motors, but now he's trying to get into the LS game. So we got a Gen 4 4.8. Pretty much we just got gifted a motor in a sense. Now it is actually Gen 4. A lot of people have been, every single time I talk about Gen 4 motors, everybody's like, oh, this isn't a Gen 4, this isn't that. We crack open the motor, finds out it's actually a Gen 4. The main reason is Mike, he knows exactly what to look for. Pretty much what he did, he just took off the valve covers, look at the head bolts. The head bolts were short, Gen 4. The head bolts are long, it's going to be a Gen 3. That's pretty much how you tell. So that's what happened with my Turbo LS 240. A lot of people try to flame me for that. Oh, it's not a Gen 4, it's a Gen 3. And we cracked open the motor, it was a Gen 4. So pretty much how you can tell. I think with these 4.8s, they're kind of weird. They look like a Gen 3 with the knock sensors in the valley, but they have Gen 4 internals. So it's just some years, I don't know for sure what years they did that, but both of these motors are really exactly the same. So this may go into some project, it may go into the Tahoe, it may go into the 240 later on, or I'll buy this motor from Nigel and just have a spare for my 240, since they both Gen 4s. I mean, everything else is going to both exactly right up. So just know you got another LS build that's going to happen on the channel. I really want this shit to go into the Tahoe. Nigel's like, he don't want to make the Tahoe a race build yet, as I say yet. So something's going to get an LS, just know that. So pretty much how it is. We can just open up the valve cover, you guys can see this thing. It's pretty mint inside this. It came out of a FedEx truck, so it's like one of those FedEx home delivery vehicles, and the inside of it was pretty mint. There we go. Now it's falling off. Take it off. You can see the inside is actually not bad at all. So looking in there, I mean, you just got your normal oil in there. Nothing looks burnt, nothing looks sludged up. So it was routine. It was maintained very routinely. So it doesn't look bad at all. So it's just a good motor. We're gonna end up just breaking everything down, rebuilding it, and throw it into something. So that's pretty much how it goes. So back to the Turbo LS 240. Just a quick little update, nothing real serious right now. The only thing I'm really waiting on is going to be getting the fab guy. He's gonna do my intercooler setup. He's gonna do all the piping to the intake. Just waiting on that. Once he comes back and he gets everything done, then we're just gonna rough wire everything and pop it off. That's all we really need to do for now. But what we did is we cut a hole in the fender so we can have our intercooler piping coming through there as well. We can have a side for the turbo oil drain dash chin going off of the turbo, from there going into the pan right down there. If you guys can see that, going straight into the pan. So that's really what we did today. I know some people may give me flack about cutting into this. Now, if most of the drifters, a lot of these guys, you already know, most of the guys, they'll cut this whole thing out here just so they have room for that angle on their tire. So cutting this out isn't anything structural. This, most likely your rad support will be a little bit more flimsy, but I mean, if you tube front end the car, I mean, that's really kind of the remedy for a flimsy front end like that. So it's not that big of a deal. So if I have to, I'll tube front the whole car. I really don't give a shit at the end of the day. But that's really all we're really doing right now. So just a small little update. That's really what's happening. Took all the front accessories off. We're finally gonna mount the front accessories, which means I gotta tap the block for the alternator kit and things like that. So small little shit, but pretty much all we did today. Nothing real crazy. I mean, it's not a slow day, it's just shit. I mean, got some content. Hopefully just put out a video. If you guys like it, like, favorite, and subscribe. And you already know you guys always hitting the likes very, very strong on my videos. But from here, follow us on Instagram, and then from there, we should be perfectly good. He gone.